Sometimes you find cool things when you're not even looking for them. That was the case here when my good friend Jim at Firing Distance, which is my go-to gun store, said he had an original 80s import UZI on consignment and asked if I was interested. What a loaded question. I took a look at the gun, thought about the price, did a little bit of research. I know very little about the UZI, even though I was a full-grown adult when it became popular in the 80s. UZI has the U.S. Secret Service and the Terminator to thank for the success of this gun in America. I'm a big Terminator fan. In fact, I met both of the stars of that movie back in the day. I even have a personal story with Linda, so I always cheered for Sarah Connor to survive, even when she was threatened with an UZI 9mm. Still, I never managed to experience the UZI for myself, despite being a gun lover all these years.
All right, here we go. First shots with the UZI. All right, I'm expecting this to be a very uncomfortable cheek weld, so we'll see what happens. Oh, did not feed. I'll show you that. All right, so one round and one subsequent misfeed. All right, I now have another round in the chamber, and I'm gonna go back to it. That was, these mags are full, by the way, 20 round mags. So I may want to download them a little. Well, that's not going to be any fun. Well, let's see if we can get more than 2 shots in a row at some point here. There's no recoil at all. There we go. Well, it looks like it's putting them right dead center too. So, the cheek weld may not be comfortable, but there's no recoil. So it's really a non-issue. Man, this thing is accurate. Very nice. And I think I'm probably out. Yep.
My research helped me understand the difference between the Model A and the Model B. This one is a Model A. The Model B is arguably a safer gun, but the Model A is more collectible because there are fewer of them and they were imported first, so they're older, as the model designation would suggest.
All right, so the first magazine I had several misfeeds, probably the first 3 or 4. Didn't want to feed the second round, so I'm wondering if, you know, just having the magazine full is maybe not the best strategy. So this one is also full with 20 rounds. We'll see how it does. Maybe it's just one of the 2 mags. If so, I'll try to mark it. If not, I'll just make a mental note to load them to 15 instead of 20. Problem solved, maybe. All right, here we go. Let's see how this mag does. Oh, much better. I'll have to remember to mark that magazine. Man, this thing is a shooter. And we're out. That was maybe the most fun 20 rounds I've fired in a long time.
I pinged Tim Harmson, who you undoubtedly know from Military Arms Channel, because I figured this was right up his alley. His opinion was that the Model A was certainly more collectible, and that I shouldn't be such a pussy. I mean, shouldn't be so worried about the safety factor.
Okay, back at it. I'm having a blast, pardon the pun, with this UZI. This is fun. It's a funzie. That's what they should have called it. So I'm going back to the first magazine. This is the one that gave me trouble with those first few rounds. I've only loaded it to 15, so we'll see if that makes the difference. I'm fairly impressed on just how accurate this thing is and how easy to be accurate it is. Okay, looks like loading to 15 is the secret for that mag. God, what a fun gun. This thing may be taking its place way high on the list of funnest guns I own. Ah. There's really no indication you're out. And I can't count as high as 20 because I only have 10 fingers. All right, magazine number 2. I loaded this to 15 also, even though I could go to 20, but it also helps me budget my ammo a little bit better if I load fewer. All right, so yeah, it's not a comfortable cheek weld, but it's not like you're getting slammed. So it's really no big deal. Wow, what a shooter. Holy cow. Man, I'm not going to use the phrase well-kept secret, because it's certainly not, but wow. Nobody ever told me this thing was such a great shooter.
I also learned a great deal about the UZI from Tim's channel and from Ian at Forgotten Weapons. I would urge anyone who's interested in these classic guns to watch their videos on this topic.
I wish I had acquired this UZI earlier in my life. Well, at least a couple years ago when ammo was available and cheap. But right now, it's kind of a... The torture is that, man, I could be out here and just plink with this thing all day long. This is super, super fun. Unfortunately, you know, we're living where we're living in the day and age, and you can't get ammo. So things are maybe getting a little better, and I hope they clear up soon for many reasons, not the least of which, so I can get this thing back out and play with it. This is fun. All right, back to it, back to the fun. Uh-oh. All right, I'm going to try and clear this. What I've got is, if you can see, there we go. Get a little light there. But basically, the round is stuck on the end of the bolt, and it's pretty firmly in place. So I'm going to see if I can clear that, because it will not let me fire it at all. Basically remove the bolt, and here you go. There's a good look at it. And it's kind of beat up. There we go. All right, I'm going to set that round aside and not try to use that again. So all right, now where were we? Function test, everything is good. Let's start over. All right, I got that cleared. Hopefully that won't happen again. All right, now let's go ahead and finish off this mag. I hope. Man, what a shooter. God, I love this thing. Ah, bummer. Because I was going to clean that plate. You know that, right?
After learning more about the gun, I decided that the price that was being asked for it, while substantial, was a fair market price for one in this excellent condition. And with Tim's vote of confidence, I bought it. Hey, before I get too much further, please hit the like button. It really does help get the video out there where others can see it, and it helps my channel.
So the UZI magazine was, I believe, the original. I'm going to say I believe a lot, or I think, or as far as I know. I'm going to use words like that a lot. And even if I'm not using those phrases, assume them. Because I am a self-professed non-expert on the UZI. I don't really know a whole lot about the UZI. So other than, you know, the general stuff that is in the osmosis of society. Beyond that, I really don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm an eager student is what I am, but I'm not an expert. So I will later in this video, I'll talk about some sources or resources if you are more interested in UZIs and you want to get some better information. I will point you in that direction. There are some good resources out there that I've learned from and that I would recommend to you as well. But a quick observation. So the UZI magazine, I believe, was the first of this particular pattern for 9mm. Somebody please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But subsequent to this were the Colt magazine, Colt patterned magazine after this, and then others have used it as well, like Stag Arms. I have a Stag Arms AR pattern in 9mm that uses a magazine much like this. However, it's not exactly like this. I did do a test fit, not quite. Unfortunately, The Colt magazine and the Stag magazine that I have, they have a rounded protuberance or a rounded seam area on the back of the box for the magazine that prevents it from going into the UZI, which is a shame because it would be nice to be able to use the half a dozen or more that I have in the UZI as well. Another thing, I have the Maglula that is for those magazines, and I was thinking, wow, that'll be great, that'll work in the UZI magazine. It doesn't. It fits on the UZI magazine, actually, just perfectly. Where am I? Okay. It fits on there fine, but the problem is there's, right here, if you're familiar with Maglulas, they have an index point that is going to grasp either some part of the magazine that sticks out or some hole in the magazine that this can stick into, and this, in this case, it's the latter. On the Colt magazine, there's a notch right there that this goes into, and that notch is your disconnector. This does not have that, and so there's no way for it to really hold itself in place, like when you're trying to work the lever and feed rounds in. So there's that. And I also just tried holding it down real tight, and the rounds won't quite go in. So if you have the Maglula, or if you don't, and let me save you a couple dollars. If you don't have this Maglula loader and you think, hey, I'll get this for the UZI, it's not compatible. It took me 5 minutes to just say, hey, this isn't compatible with this, so don't try that.
You'll hear me yakking at the range about what fun it is to shoot this gun and how surprisingly easy it is to shoot accurately. This copy of the gun is the 16-inch barrel, semi-automatic version. It is not a Class 3 or NFA item because it's not a machine gun and it's not a short barrel rifle. And some of the photos where you see a short barrel, that's actually a barrel. They think they called it the presentation barrel that was provided with the gun. It was one of the accessories that originally came with the gun, literally as a presentation only. That is a non-functioning, non-hollow barrel. This gun is from the early batch of imports, imported from IMI by Action Arms in Philly, and it's been well cared for. The gentleman that sold it said that he was the original owner. And that seems legit because the gun is beautiful and in excellent shape inside and out. And it came with all the original accessories. I get squeamish about collecting guns that I can't shoot or don't want to shoot because I prefer to enjoy them. This is one I can take out on occasion and enjoy and then clean it up and put it away. So thanks for watching this video. I just wanted to make a fun, join me at the range type look at this newly acquired classic and share the first range trip with you. I have a hunch we'll see this one again. Maybe I'll test it at 50 and 100 yards or something. Thanks to TA Targets, who provided that array of steel targets that you saw me shooting at. Look below for my discount code that will save you 10% on your purchase from TA Targets. Thanks as always to my Patreon supporters. You are really helping me to continue to provide content. That's it, guys. Be safe out there. Have fun, and I'll see you next time.